Hi friends! Long time no see. The last time I posted was 2 months ago and it was of my first fan call with Ray, and my music taste is having a round 2, so I thought it wouldn't hurt to try out again, and it gave me this video idea to basically share how the process works and how you guys can apply and possibly win as well. I'm aware that many people have made videos on this topic before, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to share since this will be from my personal experience and because I'm not someone who's rich or a popular group order manager. So yeah. To start off with what fan calls are, fan call events happen when a K-pop group or K-pop soloist have a comeback, and all these websites that have their albums for sale such as My Music Taste, Soundwave, and Withmoo, just to name a few, will post a fan call event with those albums up for sale. It will be the same as just buying a regular album, but you will select that you want to apply for a fan call. It will ask you what your member preference is, like who you want a fan call with. The only difference is that it will ask you for a little more information about yourself, and you may have to buy more albums since the more albums you buy, the higher chance you have of winning. The items you need for a fan call are money, obviously, to buy the albums, and a passport or ID. I recommend a passport more just because I don't see a lot of sites accepting IDs. I have heard of situations where if they only accept passport and the participant didn't have their passport on them at the moment, they accepted their ID. But definitely make sure to check the rules before you apply. The only site I'm aware of that accepts IDs is My Music Taste. I'm not actually sure if any other site accepts IDs, but please correct me if I'm wrong. The third thing you will need for a fan call is some type of messaging app for them to contact you. I believe the options are KakaoTalk, WeChat, WeLine, something like that. I'm not too sure. But I definitely recommend KakaoTalk because I believe that one is the most commonly used one, and that's the one I use as well. But obviously, make sure to read the rules before you apply. I also have 2 other things in mind that I personally recommend you guys to have, but since they're not a necessity, I'm not gonna say it now and we'll just bring it up as I go on with the video. Since I plan on walking you guys through the whole process, the first thing you guys will need to do is prepare for a fan call event. And since these fan calls happen when a group or soloist have a comeback, definitely make sure to save up as much money as you can before they have their comeback. And I'm sure that's common sense, but I definitely recommend it because it really is useful if you're not a group order manager and you don't need to save up anything too crazy. Just set little bits of money aside and let it gradually build up before the comeback happens. And once you save up all your money, the comeback comes and a fan call event happens, you will obviously have to apply. When you apply, they will ask you for things such as your full legal name, your birthday, phone number, shipping address, your messaging app preference, and your username ID on that app. This is where one of the 2 things I recommend comes in. When they ask you for the shipping address, I recommend that you put a Korean address. And by Korean address, I mean a Korean warehouse or Korean proxy. I recommend that because it will be shipping within the same country, obviously, so it will be very cheap. It will literally come out to about $3, which is very good compared to any other country. For example, with the US, it could end up to be about $200. So I definitely recommend having a Korean address. If you guys don't have a Korean address or don't know where to start, I recommend checking out this website called Sunbae Shop. And I can go deeper into that with another video, but yes, that is the one I use and one that I definitely recommend. Now, once you submit for your application and pay for your albums, you will have to wait for the winner's announcement date to come, and that information should have been given on the fan call information page. And how they post the winner's announcement is either by posting a board on their website of all the names of the people who won, which will also have asterisks in them, obviously to give you guys privacy, or they will email you personally saying, hey, you won. Now, what happens once you find out you won? My experience was with My Music Taste, and it may depend on the site you use, but I believe it should be about the same. I was given a Google Form link where I basically confirmed my identity, and they also gave another short set of rules of what to expect before the fan call happens. Something they ask that I believe is significant is that they ask for your time zone. I'm not 100% certain if this is the reason, but I believe they ask you for your time zone so they can accommodate to all the participants' schedules. For example, with my fan call with Ray, I was third in line and the fan call for me was about 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. So from that, I believe the earlier in the morning and the later in the night you are, the higher chance you have of being ahead in line versus anyone else who is in the afternoon, in the evening. They will probably be in the back. Basically, if the fan call for you is at an hour of time where you should be asleep right now, they will probably put you ahead in line so you can get your fan call over with and you can get the rest that you need. Once you submit that form, you will get another email from them telling you your order number. And your order number will be what place you are in line out of however many participants. Once all of that is done, they will message you on the messaging app saying, hey, we need to confirm your identity, and this is where your passport or ID will come in. They will expect you to send a selfie of yourself with your passport or ID next to your face. I'm not sure if these are the only two things, but your full name and your birthday have to be visible and legible for them to read. And obviously your picture will have to be next to your face so they can match it up. Yeah, once you send that in, they will say everything is good and you basically just wait for them to call you. They will probably send you a little warning message saying, hey, the fan call is about to start. But either way, I recommend getting ready like an hour or even 2 hours earlier since you never know what could happen, and it's just smart to have your phone by you at all times. And then they'll call you, and once your fan call happens and it's done, your albums will be shipped. If you have your home address as the shipping address, they will obviously ship directly to you. But if you're deciding to use the Korean address method that I recommended, they will send to your Korean address instead. Something I really like about Sunbae Shop is that they will ask you if you want any items to be discarded, and that is where I would recommend discarding the albums and only keeping the inclusions, which would be the photo card and the pre-order benefit. Obviously, this isn't necessary and you can keep the albums if you'd like, but for me, albums are a hassle and they're also really hard to resell. And it's also a benefit because shipping will be cheaper without all the weight. And I forgot to mention, your album should also come with a winner's benefit. Winner's benefits are usually things such as a signed album, a signed photo card, signed pre-order benefit, signed Polaroid or a Polaroid in general, anything like that, but it's more typically a signed album and a signed pre-order benefit. And if you decide to discard the albums, definitely make sure to specify that you want to keep the signed album. But once your albums arrive to your Korean address, they will let you know that they arrived and you will pay shipping from them to you. And yeah, that's about it. Now, if you don't want to keep all of these albums or inclusions, I recommend that you resell them on, you can honestly resell them anywhere, Instagram, Twitter, Mercari, just to name a few, but I recommend that you resell them, and I can also go deeper into that with another video on how to sell merchandise. Yeah, I believe I covered everything from here, but like I mentioned earlier, I am trying out for another Ray fan call, so I guess we'll find out what happens. I won't be disappointed if I may be a tad disappointed, but I won't be entirely disappointed if I don't get it because I've already met her once, and meeting her that one time was such a blessing. And I truly hope every fan out there who applies for a fan call is also able to win at least once in their life as well. And that reminds me, I'm also okay if I don't win this fan call just because I don't want to win too many. I want to give others a chance to win as well, and I don't want to become like some sort of serial fan caller, which is why I only stick with one site, which is My Music Taste, and they don't host too many fan calls, so whenever they do, I just decide to give it a little try and see what happens. And for those of you who are applying for fan calls, please do not be stressed over it, and please do not do it if you are not in the right mental health mindset or if you're not in the right financial status, things like that. It's really cool that we do get a chance to talk to them, but it's not worth it if you're not gonna have anything to eat for the day or such like that, if you know what I mean. Just save up little bits of money, like I said, and again, you won't have to save anything too crazy. I've heard of people who bought many albums but didn't win, and people who bought one album and won, so you just have to give it a try and see what happens. That will be all for today. Let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Bye!